What's up, everyone? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact four-step process I use to create a highly relevant outbound campaign that's directed towards specific prospecting signals. So, what a prospecting signal is to me is essentially a piece of research or data that tells you that you can use to make your messaging more relevant or more personalized, or just give you some sort of idea of what's happening at the company. And so, the way I do this, and let's say I just started a new company or I've been running outbound for a little while and it's not going really well. First thing I'm going to do is list out every single prospecting signal I can think of. So this could be things like if they're hiring, if there's a job change, if there's a merger or an acquisition, if there's a new product launch, if there were a closed lost opportunity, etc. There's a lot of different examples of this. And if you're struggling to come up with your own examples, there is a ChatGPT prompt that I love to use. I learned it from Jordan Crawford. I use this every time I start with a new client. And essentially, what you do, it's very simple, is you say, I'm selling a whatever type of software you're selling. So in this example, I just took the company Deal because I think we're all familiar with it. So I just used Deal as if I was prospecting for them. I said, I'm selling a human resource management software. Here's a description of the problems we solve and the value we provide. And so this description, I just copied and pasted straight from their LinkedIn About section. And then below that, it says, I'm looking to figure out which titles would be the best to target at my ICP and what exact moment or inflection point the company might be at where they would need me the most. Give me 10 complex ideas that solve for the timing on when to reach out, which customers I should target, and why you think this is the moment and title is a perfect person to reach out to. Okay, so that was a mouthful, but I wanted to read that out because what it's doing is it's thinking critically about 10 different essentially prospecting signals I can find to make sure I'm reaching out to the warmest possible prospects in my ICP. I will share this prompt with everybody. Again, this came from Jordan Crawford, so shout out to him for this. So once you enter that, this is what it's going to look like. Wait for this to load. So it's giving me a bunch of different ideas. So global expansion phase. This makes sense. It's an HR software, so reach out to companies when they are expanding globally. Mergers and acquisitions, that's always a really good one. Rapid scaling signals, so if the company is growing fast, entering new markets, remote work transitions, okay? Technology upgrade cycle. So all these are really good examples of signals you can use to reach out to companies. Compliance overhaul, since I believe Deal can help with some of the compliance stuff on the HR side. Conferences, events, high employee turnover rate. That's a good reason to potentially use a software like Deal. Regulatory changes. Again, some of these might be common knowledge. Some of these might be new ideas, but I highly recommend you guys try this out because, again, I use this all the time and it comes up with really good ideas for me that I never thought of. So this is a great place to start. Take these examples, right? Mergers and acquisitions. Whoops. And start popping it in here. And so I have it segmented by account signals and contact signals. So this is the first one, mergers and acquisitions. The second step in the process, once you start thinking of your signals, is forming a problem hypothesis. So if a company had a merger or an acquisition, what problems might be occurring at that company as a result of that signal? So again, if I'm thinking from the company's perspective of Deal, if I'm reaching out to a company that just had a merger, I keep saying murder, excuse me, a merger or an acquisition, the problem hypothesis might be that because there's all these changes, they need to consolidate their HR technology and they need to make sure that all these new employees who are not necessarily new employees, but these employees who are kind of merging into one company have the proper onboarding resources they need. So problems might be something along the lines of consolidating tech, HR tech, slow onboarding, etc. So obviously you want to think about these a little bit more critically. This is just an example, but I would go through and take all these examples, pop them in there, and then think about the problem hypothesis. The next thing you want to do in terms of the third step, so the first step was finding the signal, second step is finding the problem hypothesis, third step is the priority. And the priority is based on two things. So one, how impactful is that signal in terms of giving me a good problem hypothesis? So a merger and acquisition is probably really good. But maybe something like recent funding is sure a signal I could go after, but it's not going to be that impactful. And then the second piece to it is how easy is it to find? Like, do I have a data tool that's going to show me when companies have mergers and acquisitions. There's a lot of these data tools out there, but the question is, do you have access to it, and is it easy for you to pull enough accounts? So then you have to go into your data tool, whatever it is that you use, and determine if it's easy for you to find these signals. If not, then it's obviously a low priority. But if you hit on those two things, it's a high impact signal and you have data that can help you find it, then obviously it's high priority. And so you want to rank that in terms of priority. And now the final step in this is you then take the highest priority signals and you create sequences that are based on the signal and the problem hypothesis, which makes creating emails extremely easy. You open by mentioning the signal. Hey, I saw you guys had a recent merger with so-and-so company. Usually that means you're consolidating HR tech and they're slow onboarding, etc. And that's, again, you're tying in your problem hypothesis in the second sentence. And then all you have to do is throw in a value proposition to explain how you solve that problem, and then throw in your call to action and test out all these different sequences that are based on one signal and one problem hypothesis. And so this is the probably most important part of this call. My friends over at Common Room put together this awesome list of 100 prospecting signals, tons of different examples. Each one has an explanation on why it matters. They have it ranked in terms of strength. They have the type of signal and where to find it. They even have a playbook for most of these on how to actually run these campaigns. This is completely free, so I'm going to send this to you guys. Just comment below in the post, and I will send this to everybody. But this is a great example. So again, if you're struggling with your outbound campaigns, you are not. If you're not building campaigns that are based on highly relevant prospecting signals, check out this document because there are so many different examples. It'll spark some ideas for you that you can start testing out in your own campaigns. So thank you, Common Room, for sharing this with me, because this is like a private document. Like, not everybody has access to this. So I appreciate them letting me share this with my audience. So that's a wrap. Again, guys, just to recap the 4 steps: find the signals, match it to a problem hypothesis, rank the signals in terms of how strong they are and how easy they are to find, and then create sequences based on a signal and a problem hypothesis. I will talk to you all later.